Oh my god, my TTS not work. Okay. Number as why fix my TTS. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, I know what happened.
Salttoserenity says test.
Oh, okay, I know. Let's try this. Make sure this works.
Salttoserenity says HTTP.
Okay, never mind that. That doesn't work. It's fine. Or maybe it did, but I just didn't. Maybe I just have to refresh.
Siri_bot says the stupid ad is over, not like this.
Nice. Okay, this works. Cool.
Salttoserenity says HTTP.
Never mind. I'm gonna change one of the settings. What's this? Okay, this is fine. We'll just this quickly. Cool. Are you serious? It's gonna play another. No way.
Siri_bot says an ad will play for 3 minutes. Oh, sorry.
Oh my god. Oh, well, at least the only person. Okay, it's just you're here, Deflex. Or are you? Oh my god. I was like fiddling with the ad manager earlier to try to get it so that I don't have to like worry about manually pushing the button every single time. But I guess it reset itself, so. But it's not a big deal because no one's here who has to watch the ads, so. Yeah, that's good. Wait a second, I did it wrong. Okay. Guess we'll speak that way around.
Siri_bot says the stupid ad is over, not like this.
I'm assuming that there's only 5 questions in this. That was close. Heal.
Hello and welcome, I'm your Code Monkey. In this lecture we're going to learn about one of the most useful collections, the dictionary. Okay, so dictionaries are a super useful data type for storing multiple pieces of data and doing so in a very organized way. Dictionaries are all about key-value pairs, meaning that the dictionary itself is a whole container, and inside that container you store various keys, so like some key for stone, some wood, and some gold, and then for that contains key-value pairs, meaning that the dictionary itself is a whole container, and inside that container you store various keys, so like some key for stone, some wood, and some gold, and then for each key has a corresponding value, and then that value can have whatever that you want. Importantly is both the key and the value. Both these can be of whatever type you want. So for example, in some kind of game storing the resource amount, the resource type itself can be the key, and the amount that you're currently holding, that one can be the value. If you were to build something like that using an array or some kind of list, if so, then you would have to memorize it. For example, index 0, that one refers to wood, index 1 refers to stone, index 2 to gold, and so on. So you'd have to memorize what type each index belongs to. Whereas with dictionary, the key itself can be very descriptive about what value it stores. You can use a proper name or a proper object reference. That makes a lot more sense than keeping in mind what index belongs to what. Now to build a dictionary, this is actually super easy. We just type in dictionary, and then we open up the angle brackets. Now this syntax, these are generics, kind of like we use on the list. I'm going to cover generics in detail in a future lecture in this intermediate section. So we open the angle brackets, and then we have two types. The first one is going to be whatever type we want for our key. So for example, let's define an enum for that. So private enum for the resource type. So we have this, and then inside for the values, let's go with stone, then wood, then gold. Okay, those are the values for our resource type, and over here we can use that resource type itself as our key. And then for the value type, let's say we just want to store the amount, so let's use a simple int. So let's name this resource type amount dictionary, and then we...
Oh my god, I did forget how to use enums. Why not right earlier in, yeah. I'm gonna end up rewatching that section.
We can simply construct it. So just new dictionary of this type. Okay, just like this. So this is going to create our dictionary, but so far it's going to be just empty. To add a key value pair, we go inside the resource type amount dictionary, inside our dictionary, and we call the add function. Over here we need to pass in the key and the value. So let's pass in resource type, let's say stone, then for the value, let's say 56. So if this is going to add the key stone onto our dictionary, and it's going to link the value 56 with that stone. This is how we can add a value, and then for reading a value, we do it pretty much as if it were an array. So we use the square brackets, and inside here we put the type for our key. So in this case, our resource type dot stone. So if we do a console.write line on this one, let's see, and yep, it does print 56. Okay, great. Console.write line on this one. Let's see. And yep, it does print 56. Okay, great. Now,
Oh, that was a cut. I see.
write line on this one. Let's see. And yep, it does print 56. Okay, great. Now, one key point about dictionaries is that the key itself, this one must be unique. So if we try adding a value on the same stored key, if we try adding some kind of value, nope, right away we have an error. An item with the same key already has been added. So remember that each key must be unique. If you want to update the value, we can just access it, so as if it were an array, and then set it to something, and yep, this will work. Now, when getting a value, if we try getting a value that does not exist, so if we try going to this, on the resource getting a value, if we try getting a value that does not exist, so, and yep, this won't work. We can just access it, so as if it were an array, and then set it to something, and yep, this won't work. Now, when getting a value, if we try getting a value that does not exist, so if we try going to this, on the resource type dot wood, if we try doing a console.write line on this one, yep, here we have another error, key not found exception. The given key was not present in the dictionary. So if you don't know whether a certain value exists, you have two options. First, you can just check to see if it contains that key. So access the dictionary and call contains key.
Can't remember if you can iterate through enums. I think you can.
Then just check to see if it contains that key. So access the dictionary and call contains key, then pass in the key. So this will return true or false if this key exists inside the dictionary or not. That's one approach, and the other one, true or false if this key exists inside the dictionary, then pass in the key. So this will return true or false if this key exists inside the dictionary or not. That's one approach, and the other one is to access the dictionary and call try get value. This one, like the name implies, tries to get some kind of value for some key. So the first parameter is going to be the key, so let's say resource type dot wood. And then the second parameter, this is the first time that we're seeing this. This one is not just an int value parameter, it is an out int. This means that it's an output parameter. This is a more advanced topic that I cover in detail in the advanced section. For now, just know that this is an output parameter. So this function is basically going to return bool, so it is going to return true or false. True if the dictionary has this key, and false if it does not. And if it does have, then it's going to output whatever it is in here. So let's define a variable for the wood amount. So if it does have wood, then it's going to store the amount on that one. So then we can see if this one does have this value. If so, then let's print out the wood amount. Except this amount, so then true or false. True if the dictionary has this key, and false if it does not. And if it does have, then it's going to output whatever.
I don't know why this one seems weird. It feels like, based on the wording, that it's like, It makes it seem like it returns two values. But it... Default value for the type of the value. I think I might play with that one. Well, time to see if I remember how to make a dictionary. Yo, me.
Me says 07.
True of the dictionary is not a specific key, otherwise false. Contains a value associated with a specific key if the key is found. I'm confused if this thing's trying to return a bool or a value. Oh, the default value must be like... That's... Never mind. Just make it... Okay. This thing have to... Is there a sign? Does this actually run? Why was this even allowed if this doesn't exist? Sure. Second. Let's see, what does he do?
Whatever it is in here. So let's define a variable for the wood amount. So if it does have wood, then it's going to store the amount on that one. So then we can see I think you aren't like making a new thing in here.
Oh, it was because of this old thing I was doing. I was like, what's happening? So if it's not in the dictionary. Okay. What's the point of this out variable thing? What does it even do? So it does just return a bool.
If this one does have this value. If so, then let's print out the with amount. Except we
Oh, it's like creating a new. Let's see. Wow. I thought this would be like, after it's done calling this, I thought this would be out of scope and then it would just not remember the variable. So I was wondering what the point of this is. It's like, that's cool. I guess what this does is like creates the variable and stores like a value in if there's something that can be stored in it. Pretty cool.
then add, so this should not run. And if there it is, that doesn't run, out the with amount. Except we didn't add, so this should not run. And if there it is, that doesn't run. But if over here, instead of assigning stone, let's assign to wood. And if there it is, that doesn't run. But if over here, instead of assigning stone, let's assign to wood. And if there it is, now it does run. Again, if you're not familiar with this output syntax, don't worry about it. I'm going to cover it in more detail in a later lecture. If you do use it, just know that it has this syntax. Also, like we saw, we can modify values. So if you do use it, just know that it has this syntax. Also, like we saw, we can modify values. So we can go inside this, resource type.wood, and set it to something to modify it. So this works. But this also works for simply adding values. So instead of calling .add, you can just do it like this. And if it does work and does add that value. And of course,
Because that's weird. Someone's trying to send like a spam message in the chat. But the account was created 15 hours ago. Apparently. But in my chat, it's like disabled where like people with like new accounts aren't supposed to be able to use the chat. So, interesting. That's weird. Wait a second, do messages not work anymore? In the chat display? Oh my god, they don't. And I didn't even notice that until like right now. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix that. Um... Okay, something like this kind of works for now. I'll just adjust it more later.
Instead of calling .add, you can just, so this works. But this also works, resource type.wood, and set it to something to modify it, so this works. But this also works for simply adding values. So instead of calling .add, you can just do it like this.
Cool.
And if it does work and does add that value. And of course, since we can add values, we can also remove them. So we can call remove and then pass in some type of key. So let's say resource.wood. So this should remove the key. So then this code should not run. And if there it is, doesn't run. So here we are creating a dictionary, and then afterwards on a separate line, we are assigning values. But like we have with arrays and class and so on, we can also initialize the object directly when we create it. The way we do that is we open and close the curly braces. So the same as we do to initialize some kind of array or list. And then inside it, we put whatever elements we want to initialize inside this dictionary. But remember, dictionary is a key-value pair, so we need to somehow define a key and a value pair over here. If we just do resource type dot stone and then 10, if we just do this, nope, this is an error. The correct way to define a key-value pair is with another pair of curly braces. So put this one inside open and close just like this. And then if we want to initialize more, we can just start with wood and something and so on. Now importantly here, pay close attention to the syntax. So we've got curly braces on the whole dictionary, and then again for each individual key value pair. Now one common thing you're going to do with dictionaries is simply cycling through them. For that we can just do a for each directly on our dictionary, and then again for each individual key value pair. Now one common thing you're going to do with dictionaries is simply cycling through them. For that we can just do a for each directly on our resource type dictionary. And for this one, the iterator variable will be a type key value pair. Simple like this, and then inside this one, we can access the key or the value. So let's do a console.writeLine. This
Cool.
this one dot key, and let's do a colon and key value dot value.
It's kind of weird because isn't like dictionary a type and also key value pair is being used like, well, is a type too. If I search for key value, yeah, what type? Oh, dictionary is a class. I guess it was key value pair. Oh, dictionary is like a subset of key value pair or something like that. I like mouse over it.
Let's get rid of this code and let's do a colon and key value dot value. Let's get rid of this code and let's test. And if there it is, cycles through the entire dictionary and prints out stone and then the amount. Alternatively, instead of cycling through the dictionary itself, inside of here we've got a keys collection. And this is just basically going to scroll through every single one of the keys. So over here you would have just resource type. This would be the key, and then you could simply access and print out the resource type, and then go inside the dictionary on this type to see the amount. And if there it is, same result. So this is the other type for each. And also finally, you can also cycle through just the values. And on all of this, always remember that these are really just key value pairs, meaning it's up to you to define what value you want to use for the key and the value. It does not have to be just simple types like ints and enums. For example, the key can be some kind of player class and the value can be some kind of weapon class. That would be perfectly fine. So just remember that it doesn't have to be just simple types. You can use whatever type you want for the key and the value. Now here's a bonus tip specific to Unity. Let's say you want to build some kind of resource manager, something like this. So you have a resource manager class, and inside you've got a dictionary of resource type and an int. But then you want it to be preset with some amount that you want to set in the editor. But the issue with dictionaries is that Unity does not serialize them. So even if we add serialized field in private, even if we do this, here in the editor, nope, we do not see it. The resource manager has no fields. Nothing shows up in the editor. So instead, here's a neat trick you can do. You can create a custom class, and on that class, you basically use the key value pair. So here I've got a resource type and an int amount. Now importantly, we need to mark this type as serializable in order to show up in the editor. And if we do, and then we just make a list of this type, if so, then yep, this one does now show up over here in the editor. So we can set it to something, and then we have all of our elements of our custom type, so we can set all of them to whatever we want. So there it is, all the various values, all the various keys. And then on this same script over here on the awake, we just create the dictionary. We cycle through the list that we exposed in the editor, and
Interesting. I knew about serialized field, but I didn't know about serializable.
we just go inside dictionary on that type and set it to that amount. Then we
Yeah. I don't think you had to make a whole new dictionary and assign it into that. List.
can just print out the concept dictionary. And up here in the console, we can indeed see, yep, we did create the dictionary and we did initialize it with the dictionary. And up here in the console, we can indeed see, yep, we did create the dictionary and we did initialize it with our data. Alright, so that's the dictionary. It's a super useful data type, really helpful when you have two pieces of data that can be connected like a key-value pair. So this is absolutely essential in things like resource management or linking any kind of data together with one another. Like resource management or linking any kind of data together with one another.
Yeah. Okay, what is a dictionary? It's a, thing that has a key value pair. You declare it as a dictionary. Yeah. I don't know, use it kind of like a type, and then we need the new keyword. This is like a object, I guess. Yeah, it's a dictionary. There's a method for that. It's the dictionary.add. Or there's the other way where you use the, just create a key and then assign a value into it directly. What's the target value? How does it work? Returns a bool. And there's another variable that you create in it, in the argument, that stores, it creates that. Oh, there's one thing I need to test with that, but it creates that variable if it is able to access it. And then you have it, the data. And well, that made me think of something right now. I'm gonna test something. If this doesn't exist in the dictionary, does this still get created? Because my guess is no. This thing shouldn't write anything. False zero. Never mind, I lied. It's just 0 by default. I thought it wouldn't even I don't know, I thought it'd be null or something, or it wouldn't exist. Or throw an exception. Wow. But when something's 0, when nothing has been assigned into it, I think that means, I don't know, I think it's something like it's passed by value. It's only reference, passed by reference, where something's null, I think. I'll create a fake int. What if I do this instead? This will also be 0. Oh, but what is this? Use of... Oh yeah, I didn't assign anything. Wow, okay. Look at all those things getting through the ban. Maybe I need to look at my settings again on Twitch. Oh my god, I forgot I wasn't streaming the software category. Okay. Let me look at my settings. maybe I was wrong. I thought I had a. I don't know. I think there was. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think there was like a setting that I had. I feel like the setting's gone. No, I'm just remembering wrong. Um, how long ago was that bot account created? 16 hours ago. I'm gonna try this setting for now. It looks like all the spam bots are like newly created. But I could also enable followers only mode too. Okay, but this is fine for now. Okay. Okay, so this doesn't work if nothing's assigned, but this one's just different. It just becomes 0 if nothing's there. How do you ever the keys values or keep value pairs in a dictionary? There's a few ways you can do it. I mean, you have the dictionary.keys, which is the collection of the keys that you can use for each loop to iterate through. Then you can do the same thing with values. But there's another way you can do it too. It's, when was it? I'm gonna go back and check. What was it? Oh yeah, you can do the thing with the actual key value pair. Make like a key value pair type, and then go through each one like that. Which I've never used that way before. What is the trick to using a dictionary? Expose it to the Unity editor. Put all the information in a class, and then make that serializable. And then store all of that in a list. And then take the list, put it in a dictionary. But have the list be serialized, a serialized field. Yeah. I want to see how we did that again. It was. Oh yeah. Okay, I see. Use both of the key and the value or fields inside of the actual class. Use for purpose dictionary C#. Well, key value pairs, and then also it's fast because the key is like hash or whatever. I did a key value pair dictionary C#. That was over there. What happens if you add a key to a dictionary that already exists? Exception. How can you safely check if a key exists in a dictionary for accessing its value? There's like two methods to check. There's the try get value one, but there's also like, I don't know, there was one for like that just returns a bool. It's like, is this key in the thing? Let me see how good is the timing on that ad. Oh. Because like I probably can snooze next time there's an ad. Oh, because I already have like a whole extra hour. The pre-rolls are off. Let's check if a key exists in a dictionary for accessing its value. Oh yeah. Wait a sec. What is the correct way to initialize dictionary key value pairs? I mean, you can initialize them like directly after you, like in the same line that you create the dictionary with curly braces. Or you can use like the add method to add a key value pair to the dictionary, or you can just make it directly the actual like syntax of the brackets and then set the value equal to something. How can you move a key value pair from the dictionary? I think there's a remove method, which method allows you to try to get a value from a dictionary without throwing an error if the key doesn't exist. The try get value. Wait. Try to get a value. Yeah. What is the output of iterating over a dictionary's keys collection? The output. I mean, the output is each of the keys in the collection. I think.
Hello and welcome, I'm your Code Monkey.
I'll quickly review the section.
Once. So 1 means no path to enemy, then checks within attack distance.
Oh,
This you have to memorize.
yeah. Yeah, and I switch case too. When you print these, doesn't it actually print like a number, like 1, 2, 3, 4? Oh no, it doesn't. It just prints the actual thing. Yeah, those are pretty cool. I wonder if you can like convert other types of things like lists into enums. Oh, wait, there's a 0. What's this? Oh, you can just convert it into a name. Wow. Wait, oh, my player action. Yeah, that's 2. I don't remember that you could do it like that.
And you can index 0, then 1, 2, 3, and so on. And you can also do the opposite. So we can, for example, let's cast onto a player action, and let's cast, for example, the number 2. And if casting the number 2 onto our enome does return moving toward enemy. So due to this property, due to how enomes really are stored as ints in the backend,
Oh.
Because of this, there are some interesting things you can do with it. For example, another common use case for enums is when making some kind of game tutorial with various stages. So you'd have an enum for the tutorial stage, then have like stage 1, which... And let's do a log on this one. So we're defining it as stage 1, then we're doing plus plus. Let's see what this one says. And if it says stage 2, so it went on to the next enum value. Then we could simply compare against the last value in the tutorial stage in order to know if we've reached the end. Alternatively, you can also handle the conversion back and forth using strings. So for example, a string for the tutorial stage string. And here let's grab the tutorial stage and call the usual toString function. So this is going to convert onto a string. And now if we take this and we try to cast it to tutorial stage, if we do it, then nope, this does not work. This is an error. We cannot automatically convert the string into our enum. So if you want to do this, the correct way to do it is go inside the enum class. This one exists inside system. So you go inside of this one, and then there's a parse or a try parse. So the only difference is this one returns a bool whether the parse succeeded or not, whereas this one assumes it always succeeds. And you can see these also have versions with these angled brackets. These are generics, which I'm going to cover in more detail later on in this intermediate section. So for example, since we know that the code perfectly matches the tutorial stage, let's just do a parse. We're going to parse onto the type of tutorial stage, and we're going to parse this string. Okay, so if we see this, we should be able to see the usual stage 2, because we got stage 1, we increase it, convert it into a string, and then from a string back into our enum. And if there it is, correct. Then yet another thing you can do with enums is simply cycle through all the possible values. And for that, we can do, for example, a for each.
Oh, you can cycle through that.
For each inside the tutorial stage. Let's cycle through all the tutorial stages. Then in. And now here you can't do, for example, tutorial stage dot count dot something. No, that doesn't happen. That doesn't work. So instead, in order to get all the values, you go again inside the enum class. And for this one, you can pass in get values. And this one takes in a type. So here to get a type, we want to type tutorial stage. But just like this, nope, this does not work. In order to get the actual type object, for that, we use the keyword type of and pass in our tutorial stage. So yep.
Wow.
Type tutorial stage, but just like this, nope, this does not work. In order to get the actual type object, for that, we use the keyword type of and pass in our tutorial stage. So yep, like this.
Okay, I'm glad I reviewed that. I completely forgot that. Google type of. To get a type at the compile time. System.type object for a type. Takes the type as an argument, returns the mark type with argument. Type of double. Wow. I'm not gonna see what this does. Type of. Wow, so not double. 32. That type. Might as well click the enums. It has to be assigned with one of these values. I think. Type. Let's test in. Really good, guys. The context in type. This is cool. Oh, crazy! Hi. I didn't even see. Sorry, I didn't know anyone said anything. Oh wait, they're gone. It's too late. Oh my god, it's tragic. I'm lucky scared my TTS doesn't work. Let's test it real quick. Oh, yes, right. Oh, damn it. I muted it because the spam bots from earlier. My bad. Oh, that's sad. But it's fine, I guess. Because it's a bit slow today. I think I'm gonna get some more math stuff done. I think it's a good opportunity. What the heck? I've been doing all this stuff way too slowly. I should test my TTS again though.
Salttoserenity
Okay, yeah,
says test.
Good. No. Sure. What? It's because it starts at 75? How is this not proportional? No, I'm tempted to actually ask ChatGPT since I don't have an explanation. I never use ChatGPT. Well, first of all, we see if it even gets the answer right. God, what is this formatting? See, ChatGPT thinks the answer is yes, too. I think it's proportional. I'm gonna copy and paste this, and oh no, I have it in. Well, no, just in case. I'm gonna copy and paste it. And if someone comes around in the future who does math things, I'm gonna ask what they think. Because yeah. Yeah. How does not? I mean, I'm tempted to say no because I think it's yes, but I'm tempted to say no because of what they did last time with the Kiwi question. Is it the whole point that it's supposed to start from 0? Is that what they mean? Let's see, maybe one of these has.
The following describes the relationship between the number of servings of spaghetti relationship between. So let's just think about. So based on this data, it looks like the.
Okay, not this one.
Today, days that pass. So let's draw a little table here to think about this a little bit more.
Oh, this is, yeah. This is like an identical
I'm going to make 3 columns to 98. All right. Proportional.
It really isn't. Okay.
Number of days that pass. So that's this right over here, the number of days that pass. And this middle column, I'm going to write the number of bananas Nate has left. Number of bananas left. And over here, I'm going to make the ratio between the two. In order for this to be a proportional relationship, the ratio between these two has to be constant. So bananas left. So I'm going to divide the second column by the first column. Bananas left divided by days past. Days. Well, that one day he will have eaten 2 bananas, so you're going to have 98 bananas left. And so 96 left, and so what's the ratio? It's going to be 96 to 2, which is equal to 40, which is equal to 48. So clearly this ratio is not constant. It changed just from going from one day to the next day. So we don't have a constant ratio of bananas left to days past. So this is not a proportional proportional relationship. Now, things might have been a little bit different if they said the number of bananas Nate has eaten, is that proportional to the number of days that passed? Well, yes.
Oh, that's kind of devious. I guess that's how I was thinking of it. The number that he's eaten. Oh. Okay. This makes sense. But this is also why you don't ask ChatGPT things. Oh, definitely not. Date times. Datetime in C# is an immutable object that contains both date and time information. Where's my category? Datetime instances are manipulated by calling their methods. Once a datetime has been constructed, its value can never change. Any methods that appear to modify a datetime will actually return a new datetime, just like strings. The textual representation of dates and times is dependent on the culture. Consider a datetime with its date set to March 28, 2019, and its time set to 14:30:59. Converting this datetime to a string when using the English US culture, American English returns 3:28:19, 2:30:59 p.m. When using the French, Belgian culture, the same code returns a different value. 28:03:19. I'll put the day first. 1430-59. Understanding which daytime methods are culture dependent is important to know. In general, any daytime method that deals with strings, either as input or output, will be dependent on the current culture. In this exercise, you'll be working on an appointment scheduler for a beauty salon in New York that opened on September 15th, 2012. You have 4 tasks which will all involve appointment dates. The dates and times will use one of the following 3 formats. Okay. Here. The test will automatically set the culture to English US. You don't have to set or specify the culture yourselves. Implement the static appointment.schedule method to parse a textual representation of an appointment date into the corresponding datetime format. Oh my god, so am I gonna have to do stuff with strings? It's gonna be really annoying. Wow, they don't want to give me any starting stuff at all. What? This is like a good hint, actually. New date time. Is this the answer? Seems kind of weird if that... Well, I'm gonna try it. Well, okay, never mind. Not bad. I thought I was gonna have to look all this up. Wait a second. Never mind. I lied. Oh, that's an example. I'm dumb. Oh, I do have to do stuff with strings. I do. Okay. Well, I don't know. I could use the slash as a delimiter. And the colons. And then there's a space. Oh no, never mind, I lied. No. They're not going to be in the same format. This one's June 3rd, 2019. What? Oh wait, no, that's the second one. Never mind. No, I actually do have to deal with it. Never mind. 19. This one. And maybe there's something in the date time class that can like automatically handle all three of these, but if not, then I have to do it manually and decide how to separate each of these from each other. I mean, well, since I know all three test cases, I could cheese this easily. But maybe an easier way of doing it is just which, if this pattern, these three patterns were being, well, to not choose it, if these three patterns were being reused consistently, then I could just tell it's this format if there's a slash. Do these have a slash? Yeah. It's this format if it's 1 comma. And is this format if it has 2 commas. But I hope there's just some easy way to do this. Or there's not. Let's see if I type date time dot. What do I get? There's a person here. What if I just tried that? Because what if it can, I don't know, read the string? But then, wait, no, it doesn't make sense because try parse just turn something into a string. Into a value. Maybe I could do it. Let's see. Yeah. I think it's worth trying. I do it like. Well, okay. That works. I was about to write like 1,000 lines of code, like manually, to it. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna do another one of these. Yeah. Ooh, they got there, okay. That's bananas.
Siri_bot says an ad will play for 3 minutes. Oh, sorry.
I need to set a timer to snooze one of those ads next time. Let's do it like. I don't know where chaperones. What's his name? Field trip. Be chaperones for field trip with college students. Checking if an appointment has already passed. Implement the static appointment that has passed method. Need to copy this. Takes an appointment date and checks if the appointment was somewhere in the past. Ooh. I wonder if we could use time span here. Let's see. Or there could be something in daytime. What is from? Oh, a date. Oh no, not that. Isn't there something you can do where like subtract a date from another date and get like a time span out of it? Oh, daytimes are so annoying. What the heck was that sound? Oh, okay. Hmm. Oh, that's all we need. This one. Compare daytime, daytime. Or just compare two. Uh, 'Just make one in here like this. December 15th in 2012. Okay. Just grab. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, it's a bowl. It's less. If it's less than 0, actual false, actual false. So they all just return false. I mean, mine do. They're all one. Appointment date not compared to. What? Takes an appointment date, checks if the appointment was somewhere in the past. Oh, I'm not, I see. I thought I was supposed to compare it to when the beauty salon opened, but they meant like compare it to it now. Okay. I don't know how to get CS50. Where did I even leave off? Probably somewhere here. I guess I'll this one. Okay. probably gonna end this video. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab some water. Okay, back. Lind! Oh my god. Did you just come in?
Blind
Hey,
137
hey.
says hot.
Oh my god. You know, now that you're here, and now I don't have an excuse about avoiding that MIT course. I did take what you said to heart yesterday. I think I will kind of, I'll try to see about working through, if I can, how much I can get through of that one math course, you know, the math for computer science one. But, you know, I could just end up getting hard stuck in the first minute of the first lecture, and that wouldn't surprise me. No way did it just play. Did it just play an ad? It is not a... It's like doing this every freaking half hour. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Hold on. I don't know. It's like playing ads too frequently. Ugh. I swear this ad stuff is so annoying. Oh, that's so bizarre. Well, let me see what my dashboard says. Oh, wait, where did the window go? Oh, it's trying to display every 30 minutes. A whole 3 minute for no reason. I don't know how to stop it from doing that. Let me see. Maybe it's because I'm in the middle of the stream. Like none of the settings, like some of the settings don't save. I think I'll just turn off automatic ads, I guess, for now. And then just manually, what was this? Manually do it.
Salttoserenity says S.
Wait a second. When was this account created? 18 hours ago. I swear I just changed. My settings so that. Oh, you know, I know.
Wind137 says what happened.
Oh, hi, Win. I don't know. I'm just puzzling over all these like settings in Twitch. It's really confusing because the ads aren't playing properly. It's supposed to do it only once. It's supposed to be once per hour for people who aren't subscribed. It's supposed to be once per hour, but they're doing it twice per hour. So I'm like trying to figure out like, why it was doing that. So I just turned it off, and then I'll just manually do it for like right now until I can figure out why the automatic settings aren't working properly. Sigh. Time is relative. Oh my god, that's not a good.
Wind137 says time
Sure,
is
that's
relative.
probably what they would say. You're working for them. Well, I guess. I guess it's a fair point. Fair point. Anyway, I'll fiddle with that later after the stream's over at some point. Hopefully I can figure out why it's doing that. I was about to look through, start going through CS50 again until you showed up, but now I might try doing like the MIT thing and just see like, how hard it is. Just for funsies. Do I even have that link still? Let's see. Where's my... Oh, there. Oh, I do.
Wind137 says I think there's a text-based version of the lectures if you prefer reading.
You mean these ones? Looks like they're using these readings over here. Mathematics for computer science available. Each week with the problem sets. There are 12 problem sets. Oh my god, they're gonna be so... Everything's gonna be so extraordinarily hard, I swear to god. It's gonna be impossible. Typically the problem set is...
Wind137 says oh yeah, just where it says PDF.
Oh, gotcha. You are welcome to work with other students and Twitch chat on homework. But your writing must be entirely your own. Well, I don't need to worry about the grading, obviously. Recitation. What even is... What is recitation? Because they have a 10 lecture. I know what that is, but what is a recitation? I've never heard of that before. Recitation instructor. Is it like an extra time to practice? What do you think is... Oh, complete course notes, I say. Oh, these are notes. These notes are courtesy of...
Line 137 says it's like a session after the lecture where you review the lecture material and practice solving problems.
Oh, wow! I've never had a class with recitation before. That sounds kind of cool. Not only that, but in this, whatever this class is, they like force you to do it. Like, that seems kind of harsh. What do you think is the best way? Do you think it's better just to start trying to watch one of the videos? Or do you think I should try to like briefly look at the PDF? Oh my god, this is chapter 1. It's 19 pages. This seems like a lot. Why is it
Line
in...
137 says depends on whether you prefer text or video.
I like video. I think I get so bored with text. Video it is. And also it's embedded so poorly. Like, it's so bad. Like, why did they make it... Why is it like this? Oh, that's better. But still. Okay. Introduction to mathematical proofs using axioms and propositions. Covers basics of truth tables and implications, as well as some famous hypotheses and conjectures. Ooh, that is nice.
The following content is provided under a Creative Commons license. Your support will help MIT OpenCourseware continue to offer high-quality educational resources for free. To make a donation or view additional materials from hundreds of MIT courses, visit MIT OpenCourseware at ocw.mit.edu.
I was like wondering if this automatically scrolls.
Who can tell me what a proof is?
Well, kind of does.
Any ideas of what is a proof anyway? Any thoughts? Yeah.
It's a chain of statements, each logically supported by the previous ones, that gets you from a set of assumptions to a set of conclusions.
I
Very
cannot
good.
understand what that guy just said.
I like that. That's very close to what we're going to
I think I should try to like answer the questions whenever he asks something.
do here. Yeah. Now that's a special kind of proof, though. That's a mathematical proof. And I'm going to write a definition very close to that in a few minutes. But proofs exist beyond mathematics. Can anybody think of a higher level notion of what a proof is? That's correct, what you said, but there's a higher meta level notion of what...
Wait, hold on. Let me check something. Got a message. Oh, okay.
a proof is. Beyond correct what you said, but there's a higher meta level notion of what a proof is. Beyond that.
Oh, that's right. I right before you joined, Win, I took a picture for you. Wait. Of mine. Where is it? Oh no. Well, I did take a picture. this? Aw, but it got like corrupted. Oh, I guess I should have saved it to my desktop. Well, it was just a question about bananas, but yeah.
May have no logical deductions. Beyond that, may have no logical deductions, potentially. May have no assumptions. Any thoughts about a proof? Okay, well,
Wait.
any notion of what a proof is? That's correct what you said, but there's a higher meta level notion of what a proof is. Beyond that, may have no logical deductions, potentially.
Oh.
May have no assumptions. Any thoughts about a proof?
Wait, that seems so weird. It may have no logical deductions or assumptions, and it can still be a proof.
Okay, well, I think generally a proof is considered across multiple fields as a method for ascertaining the truth. And you described one method.
Oh. I wouldn't have thought of that. I feel like if anything, I would have guessed that a proof is, I don't know, there's been so many of those, like, spam bots today. I would have guessed that a proof is, like, documentation.
Salttoserenity
Like-
says yes.
I would have thought it was like would be like documentation of that method for ascertaining truth, like a receipt.
Now, by ascertaining, I mean establishing truth, verifying truth. And there's lots of ways to ascertain truth in society and even within science. What are some examples of ways that we ascertain truth in society? Yeah?
Line 137
Wait, I have a
says,
good
well,
example.
This is kind of
This
a
is
general
so bad.
informal definition.
Yeah, that's true. I'm enjoying the informal definition because it, you know, it makes things less hard. But my example of, well, he asked her, like, what are some ways that we do proofs or whatever? What are some ways we ascertain truth? I say anyone who disagrees with you, you just, you kill them, and then, yeah. So you're right. You can't be wrong if you don't have anyone who disagrees with you. It's impossible. I think that's a method.
It's like seeing that a piece of chalk will fall to the ground.
Observation. Experiment and observation. Excellent. That's the bedrock of physics. I mean, who really knows if there's gravity out there?
Line
Well, we
137
observe.
says another good method of ascertaining
What?
truth
That's
is the
another good
magic
one?
8-ball.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good one. Magic 8-ball.
It. And so we
Oh my god, what if there was a student who like raised their hand in his class and then they ended up saying something like, I don't know, like pray to God. What do you think? I wonder how he would respond to that if the student was being like dead serious. That would be interesting.
we then conclude that's the truth. There's gravity, and we have laws about it. That's one good way. What's another way of ascertaining truth? across scientific disciplines or in science, beyond science, just in society? How is truth established? What are the ways? Yeah.
Well, establishing what's false, if you know what things aren't true, then that helps you narrow down what is true.
Yes, truth. Yeah, that's great. Truth is the opposite of falsehood. How do we establish falsehood? What are the ways of doing that? How do you decide something is not true? In everyday life? Yeah. Find counterexamples. Yeah, that's good. So, in fact, even a step more general, sampling. Counterexamples are ways. You know, if you do something, an experiment 10 times, and every time it comes out one way, well, that's truth, maybe. But there's fields where that becomes truth. What about other ways?
Well, I guess it's nice so far that there hasn't been like a single number, a single mathematical operator. Like everything's just about definitions so far. Not bad. But I do feel like all of a sudden it's just going to get really hard for no reason. Like it'll be smooth sailing and then just like he'll just start writing like a ton of formulas on the board. I'm like, why? This wasn't good pacing.
Line 137 says, well, we're only 3 minutes in.
That's true. You're right. But that's progress. I'm quite satisfied.
How are we going to decide if Roger Clemens is guilty of perjury for lying about steroids to Congress? He did it or he didn't. How are we going to decide that? What's the truth behind it? How is that truth going to be ascertained? Yeah? Examining evidence, and who makes the conclusion there? The jury. Truth is established by juries or judges. You know, I can never pronounce his name, the Illinois governor, Blagojevich, he's guilty. That's the truth. Okay? Of, not of conspiracy, trying to sell Obama a Senate seat, but of lying to the authorities about campaign financing. OJ is guilty, not of killing his wife, but of breaking into an apartment to steal back some of his merchandise. Okay, so judges and juries make decisions on truth. What are other truths, bigger truths even, than judges and juries in society? There's one really big one that causes a lot of issues, yeah? What is it? Religion, the Word of God. Broadly construed here, or religion, Now that one's really hard to argue about, because you believe
he brought this up himself. It's kind of cool.
it. And it's especially if you're not talking to God regularly and somebody is, well, it's hard to argue about, the truth. So you rely on others to interpret it for you often, a priest or a minister or a rabbi. Okay, and it gets complicated because you can end up with conflicting truths based on, who you think you're talking to or who your translator is for you. Another one is the word of your boss. Whatever the boss says is right. Often in business, the customer is always right. That's the truth, whatever the customer says. All right? With Donald Trump as your boss, you better agree or you're fired, right?
Whoa. He's talking about Donald Trump, but this is isn't this like a really old lecture? Like the quality looks like potato.
The following content is provided under a Creative Commons license. Your support will help MIT open.
Yeah, 2010 was way before all the, current drama. Wow.
Often in classes, the professor says it is true because the authority said it. That's not true here. All right, that will not hold. And one of the nicest things about math that I like a lot
Line 137
is
says
that
Donald Trump was famous for saying you're fired.
That's true. But still. I never really thought of him as that famous. It's just, a guy people knew about, but not. Yeah. But I guess I just never really paid attention until it ended up mattering.
The youngest student can stand up against the oldest, most experienced professor and win an argument on mathematics. In fact, I do get pleasure when a student.
They win. I'm kind of curious. Have you ever been in a situation, this lecture's making me think of this, have you ever been in a situation where you felt like something that a professor said was wrong? Like they had the information wrong or something wasn't accurate? And then, like, what did you do? Did you just decide to not say anything? Because honestly, I wouldn't say anything. I might, like, ask a question, but that's about it. I don't think I'd ever argue with a professor. Because they're a professor, I just wouldn't want. So I was talking about probability.
Wind 137 says yes.
Funny.
One time a biology professor was talking about probability and what he was saying was totally wrong.
Yeah. At least it wasn't your math professor, because now that would have been real awkward. He's just a biology professor, but still pretty funny. I wonder what he said. Maybe you don't remember. And if you do remember, I kind of wonder if I'm able to tell. If I would be able to tell, like, oh, that seems a little bit sus. Because I am the kind of person who occasionally gets tricked by graphs without labeled axes. Oh, I could imagine myself going on to like rate my professor and just being like, they don't know how to do probability, and like giving a negative review.
Comes up and proves me wrong. I loved it when that student came in and she showed me what I said really wasn't right when you looked at it carefully or in a different light. Now, sometimes if I do it on the board here and it's in class, well, that's fun. I feel a little embarrassed afterwards, but it's a good thing about mathematics is that you can have that kind of dialogue. Okay, another one, which is related to the Word of God sometimes, is inner conviction. Very popular in computer science, believe it or not. With the mantra, there are no bugs in my program. Can't tell you how many times, you hear that.
Nice.
Closely related is, I don't see why not something is true. Now that's a good one because that transfers the burden of proof to anybody who disagrees with you. Right? You don't have to prove it. You say, I don't see why it's not true. All of a sudden, the other person who's questioning you becomes their job to disprove you, which is not so good.
I think I do that a lot. But that's such a normal reaction because you don't know what you don't know. And how is that anyone's fault? I think isn't the idea everyone acts on the assumption? They make their best judgments about what's true and what's not, even if they're wrong. Until, the person has enough evidence to change their point of view.
Okay, now in mathematics, there's this higher level, and someone stated it very clearly up there. Let me write it up here. In mathematics, we have a mathematical proof is a verification of a proposition by a chain of logical deductions from a set of axioms.
Yeah. I like the sound of the chalk on the board.
Now, that's a bit of a mouthful. There's three important components here. Propositions, logical deductions, and axioms. And we're going to spend the rest of the class today talking about each of these and then give an example of a proof. We'll start with propositions.
Oh.
A proposition is a statement that is either true or false. You may not know which one, but it's one or the other. Simple example, 2 plus 3 equals 5. Now that's a true proposition. Here's one that's a little more interesting. For all n in the set of natural numbers, n squared plus n plus 41 is a prime number.
Wow, numbers are showing up now. What even is this upside down A thing? This probably doesn't matter. Just an example, but still. What's...
All right, now if you
What did he say?
in the set of for all n in the set of natural numbers.
Line 137 says for all.
Oh my god. There's actually a symbol that means for all. Wow.
N squared
It's kind of cool.
plus
Is
n
it for all?
in the set of for all n in the set of natural numbers.
Oh, in the set of. I see.
N squared plus
And then this n has like a little curly thing on it. So now there's like a special symbol just for natural numbers, like 2.
plus n plus 41 is a prime number.
Line 137 says, do you know what a natural number is?
Not complex, I would think. Maybe not negative. Actually, I don't know. Why there's so many different kinds of numbers? But I would still guess complex numbers aren't included. They don't feel very natural. Okay, any positive integer.
Line 137 says basically any positive integer.
What about fractions? I'm guessing not. Depends on the author.
Line
Yes, 0.
137 says whether or not 0 counts depends on the author.
I say, who cares about 0? 0 has no value. People argue about it. No fraction, only whole numbers. Yes, okay. So
Line 137
the good
says only
numbers.
whole numbers.
You mean the numbers, natural numbers are the numbers that are the only numbers that should exist in this world. But no.
All right, now I've used some notation here. This is, the upside down A is the for all symbol.
Oh, that's expensive.
How many people have not seen that symbol before?
Me.
All right, a bunch of you. You're going to see a bunch of symbols here first week. And that means for every possible choice of n, and this is in the natural numbers, which is the set 0, 1, 2, 3.
I'll be honest, this N symbol for the natural numbers is pretty cute, isn't that? That's really adorable. I love it.
3, and so forth. It's the natural numbers. It's basically the integers, but not negative.
Oh, now I say it.
So we're saying for every
You're
natural
right.
number, i.e. for 0, for 1, for 2, and for 3, and so forth, this expression is a prime. Now, a prime number is a number that is not divisible by any other number besides itself and 1. So 2, 3, 5, 7 are prime, 9 is not because it's 3 times 3. Now, this part here is called the predicate. And a predicate is a proposition whose truth depends on the value of a variable.
You know, now I'm starting to see a connection to computer science. I was starting to think, like, how is all this going to be connected to everything? But as soon as the word variable shows up, it's like, ah, okay.
Exhibit
In this case-
says hi.
Hi, SBQ. I'm doing the thing that Wynn suggested the other day. Well, yesterday. And so far, it's not so bad. It's only 11 minutes in, and there hasn't been too much number stuff yet. But that's nice. I think I will try to do like the assignments and stuff in this. I'll try. I don't know, honestly. Well, so far, just so far. I'm gonna regret saying this, but so far it's less hard than by like a lot than the recursion stuff from yesterday. So.
Now, a prime number.
But yeah, how are you doing?
137 says perhaps it could be related to functions.
You mean the you mean this lecture about proofs and whatnot? And SVQ, just a little bit earlier, I was going to do
Line
some of the
137
language
says,
stuff.
and I hear there's a programming paradigm that loves functions.
Ooh, we don't talk about that around here. Not on this channel. Such a thing.
Tatum says,
It's
I'm doing
blasphemous.
well. What about you?
I'm alright.
Is a number that is not
But I'm happy to see all of you. Yeah.
divisible by any other number besides itself and 1. So 2, 3, 5, 7 are prime, 9 is not because it's 3 times 3. Now, this part here is called the predicate.
Why did it like reset? How?
As the universe of discourse. All right, this is
Tatum
referred
says his
to
definition of n is good now.
as the universe of discourse. It's the space of all things we're talking about. We're only talking about natural numbers here. This is called a quantifier. We'll see more quantifiers later.
Ooh.
All right, now to see if